If you go and wash your hands, Hoffman, you're gonna go and stay, okay? Seriously, I can't have this in and out of this class.
I never go in and out.
Go.
Go out once and come back in.
Go, and don't come back in. If you have not finished the study questions on all of these chapters,
What are you doing?
Why are you making a scene? Just
Why are
leave.
you making the scene? Just leave.
I mean, it's pretty hard for me to move the desk up while I'm touching.
I don't know how you did that.
Hoffman, that's a 0.
Oh, you woke up.
What does a 0 do?
In the school, though.
What?
What?
anyone else? I have those of you who finished the study questions on those 9 chapters, I have those, okay? Now, this is what's going to happen. In order for us to write about this book, hold on, please.
Okay, fine, no problem.
In order for us to write about this book, which we begin on Thursday, we need to finish it. And I'm not gonna ask you to read 250 more pages, okay? So instead, I spent the weekend reading the rest of the book, and we're only gonna read 2 more chapters. Chapter 22 and chapter 25. Now what happens is that in the interim, in chapters 11 through 21, Amir, now this is under the backdrop, against the backdrop of the events in Afghanistan, which means the Russians coming in, and then the Taliban overthrowing the Russians, and then finally, take a seat. If you want to continue coming to this class, you come at time. It's a privilege for me to give you from 9 to 7. Be here on time. So what happens is that Amir and his father are there when the Russians come in. But he and Baba have to leave because they are everybody with any kind of wealth. How much money does Baba have?
A lot.
Raise your hand,
He's
please.
rich.
Have you read the book?
No, but they all said a lot.
You know what? Then I don't need you to raise your hand if you haven't read the book.
Okay, fine. I saw the movie though. Was it?
It's not the same thing at all.
Okay, fine. But it was in Arabic, so like they had English subtitles.
You probably would fit in perfectly here
Why?
because you've got a mouth.
We all have mouths.
Human beings do.
Oh, you're saying like
Okay. They escape out of Afghanistan. Turn around and face front. They escape out of Afghanistan and they come finally to Fremont, California, where they live. Now, Baba has no more money, and so he has to work. He works selling Afghan. There's an Afghan community in Fremont, California, a small one, and he works. I'm talking.
Yes.
He works selling gasoline and then selling things at the flea market. And finally, we see Amir go from 18 and then into his 20s, and he meets a young woman named Soraya, who is also Afghanistan. People stick together, like tribes and all that kind of thing. And so what happens is, let me finish, please.
Sorry.
What happens in that chapter, right, what happens in some more chapters before we get to 22, is that Baba gets ill, Soraya and Amir get married, and Baba dies of cancer. So they proceed with their married life. The big problem and the big disappointment in their marriage is they can't have children. And so as their life is proceeding, Amir gets a message from,
Sorry.
yes, so am I, sit down please.
Can't
Amir gets
believe
a
it.
message from Rahim. Who is Rahim? Baba's friend, yes. Sit down, please. Amir gets a
It's a 0.
Amir gets a message from Raheem, and the message says, you can be good again. And he begins telling him about what's been happening in Afghanistan in all the years he's been gone. And what's happened is that Hassan has grown up and gotten married and had a child, 2 children. But lately, the thing that's happened right before chapter 22 is that the Taliban have come and they've killed Hassan and his wife and his child. The only one left is a little boy, Sohrab, S-O-H-R-A-B. So what happens right before 2021 in there is that Amir asks his wife, could he please go back to Afghanistan to try to find Sohrab? Now we know because of what's happened between him and Hassan that he owes a big debt to Hassan. And he feels like he can repay that if he can find the boy. The problem is he has to go back to a Taliban Afghanistan. I'm thinking that you probably know who the Taliban is. If not, look it up. Okay? So what we see in chapter 22 is after a great deal of difficulty, he finally gets to Afghanistan, gets to Kabul, or outside of Kabul, and he finds out where Sohrab is. Chapter 22 is a really very powerful chapter because his old nemesis, Asef, shows up again. And this time, there's another fight, a real fight. I need you to read chapter 22 for tomorrow so we can talk about it. Now, chapter 23 and 24 proceed with him taking the child back to America, and 25 is the end of the book. 25 is the really wonderful ending of the book where things come full circle, except in coming back to full circle, it doesn't come back to exactly where it started.